Can you guys believe we're already 3 episodes deep into this arc? I don't want it to end. Like, I'm almost worried about it ending. Yo, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video to the Shonen Central YouTube channel. My name is Harrison Senpai, and today we're back again, once again, reviewing episode 143 of the Boruto anime. And this episode was dedicated all to finding out who it was who was behind the attack on Kokiri, and it was, drumroll please, the red-haired guy. Again, it follows on from the theme that most of the series has been following, really, that the ones who were closest to Boruto end up betraying him. Yes, he wasn't really that close to Boruto, but out of all 3 of his cellmates, he was definitely one who made the biggest effort. He was definitely one that he connected to the most, and he still went behind his back and betrayed him. Anyway, before we go too far ahead with this review, I need to ask you guys, as always, to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy the episode, and to be sure to answer today's question of the day. And the reason I ask this question is because I see it all over Twitter and Reddit. People have been complaining somewhat about this, so I wanted to ask you guys, do you think the pacing of this arc so far has been quite slow? Personally, I don't think it's been too bad. I just hope that we start getting into the juicy stuff, the lore, pretty soon now. Anyway, on to the review of this episode. Also, while we're on the topic of betrayal real quick, I don't think we're done with it so far in this arc. Yes, the redhead guy was some betrayal of some sorts to Boruto, but it wasn't really much, like I said, so I still think that Boruto is going to be betrayed even more than he already has. And I think Kokiri, that there's something really suspicious about this guy. I still think he's working with the Mujina Bandits. Like, I don't know what his motivation is or what it will be, but I just still get the sense that he's with them and he's still a criminal. And that's simply because right now he's so uncriminal-like. You can't imagine him doing anything. He's scared of everything. He's so vulnerable. It's just, it doesn't add up. So I think in reality, he's going to be a complete U-turn of what this personality that is portraying towards Boruto Mitsuki is so far. I think he's going to be a right old evil asshole. Anyway, talking of evil assholes, let's talk about Sucio. So what was, in my opinion, the highlight of this episode? There was a conversation going on between Sucio and Sarada, and somehow he knew who Sarada was. Maybe not in specifics, I imagine he doesn't know she's Sarada Uchiha, but he knows that she's not a journalist and that she actually knows a lot more than she's showing off. Basically, I think he's sort of come to grasp that she is a ninja. Now, the question is, how much does he know? Does he know about Boruto Mitsuki? Does he know about their plan? Does he know that they can actually use jutsu? All of these different questions, and it starts making you think, how much does he really know? How much of a bad guy really is this person? And in general, I think he's just been the highlight so far, and he's not done anything. He's so intriguing compared to other Boruto anime villains. He's somewhat of a breath of fresh air, really. Like, as the red-haired guy, I don't know his name, I think it was Arai, but I'm just going to call him the red-haired guy. As he leaked all this to this person, as he told Sucio, oh yeah, there's a Boruto and a Mitsuki in my cell, and you'd presume, being part of the Mujina Bandits, you know, you'd think they'd have a little bit of somewhat of an above-average high IQ, you'd hope, and you'd think Boruto Mitsuki, that's the Orochimaru kid and the son of the Hokage, you'd think they'd start connecting the dots. Either way, I do think scenes like this one seriously need to start picking up as this arc goes on, because although I think the pacing of the first 2 episodes were pretty decent, definitely I think this episode definitely took the foot off the pedal quite a considerable amount. I just don't want that to become a reoccurring theme as the episodes go on. And I actually think that the lack of notes that I've got from this episode sort of puts into perspective, for me really, on how little there was to really talk about, in my opinion, about this episode. Obviously, we had the actual scene, or the actual, like 60, 70, 75% of the episode, which was the scene of actually trying to find out who had the medical ward's wooden tag. And although this scene or section of the episode, or whatever you want to call it, was, in my opinion, dragged way too long than what it needed to be, it did have some shining moments in there. For example, I think some of the character animation and expressions in this episode were really, really clean. However, on the other hand, you've then got the scene where the big dude punches the red-haired guy. I am great with names. But you've got that scene and it's animated in like just a few frames and it just looks like one of the weakest punches you've probably ever seen in your entire life. So I'm not too sure. It's hard. Whenever there's something good, it's sort of like you've got the alternative to that to then bring it back into the middle. Some of the back and forth between the prisoners, it started to get quite boring, very repetitive in my opinion. And saying that, I do think the way they actually revealed who the traitor was, who the one who betrayed them was, I thought it was quite interesting. It was quite different. It was definitely one of, if not the best way they probably could have gone about it. I started to think that they would have gone down way more just dumb, like Scooby-Doo level routes of doing it. But no, I was actually pleasantly surprised in the way that they did reveal it. But I think all I want to see now, really going ahead, starting as soon as possible, is more action, more lore, and just more expansion on the Mujina Bandits themselves as opposed to what the manga has given us. Hopefully, if Kokiri does end up betraying Boruto like myself and many of us think, then fingers crossed in the next, 2 episodes, we might be able to get a big fight between Boruto and Kokiri. I want Boruto and Mitsuki to sort of be the ones that carry out the more action-heavy parts of the episodes, while Sarada takes a more laid-back background approach, really, and sort of acts as the viewer's way of getting more lore and more information on the Mujina Bandits and what their motivations actually are in and also outside of the prison. Overall, I do think this was definitely the weakest episode of the arc so far. Saying that, I'm still really, really excited, really hyped to see the next few episodes and see what direction they're actually going to take this prison portion of the Mujina Bandits arc. Like I said, be sure to answer the question of the day in the comment section down below. I think I'm going to wrap up today's review right here. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad. And I'll be seeing you guys, as always, in another video very soon. But until then, peace.